Hi everybody, welcome to my video. Today I'm going to be talking to you about training and classes and why it's important for you as an actor to continue your training and your education beyond high school, beyond university, into the nether years of your life. I'm going to give you the top 10 reasons why training is important after the bump. Hi everybody, I'm Doug Fall, your augmented actor, helping you augment your acting career with tips, tactics, and tech. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing to my channel. Just subscribe to my channel. Subscribe! 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 Thank you very much for subscribing. I appreciate it. Reason number 1, you build muscle. Acting classes are like going to the gym. You work on muscles that you normally don't work on in regular life. Now, you might be in a show and you think, okay, I'm playing this role every night. I know everything there is to know about acting. Or maybe I've done 3 or 4 roles throughout the year. But those roles are very specific. And yes, during rehearsals and all that trial and tribulation that you go through as an actor, yes, you are building muscles, but they're all geared toward that specific role. Whereas when you go to an acting class, you are faced with different challenges, different muscles to build, and you will learn how to build different areas of your acting abilities. You will get to work on pieces that you normally might not get cast as because they're not quite your type. If you're, a musical theater actor, you might get to work on some Shakespeare or something a little more gritty than your usual musical theater fare. And if you're a Shakespearean actor, maybe you'll get to do a little bit of modern day comedy. These muscles are important to flex, and acting classes help you flex your acting muscles. Number 2, networking. Acting classes are a great way to connect and network with other actors and other directors and casting directors and other people in the industry. Every time I've taken a new acting class, I've met like 2 or 3 people who suddenly become part of my life, and I start to find that I work with them in projects, and we've had that sort of acting class communal experience that we have shared together, and it really does create some bonds, and it creates this opportunity to network with other actors. You can use that time to learn about auditions, to hear news about what's going on. You can hear about casting directors and directors that are in town. It's a great way to just sort of get your feet wet and get involved in the community and get your face out there. And networking is half the battle in this game. Acting classes are a great way that you can choose to be involved in the networking. When you go to auditions and whatnot, you don't get to choose whether you get cast. You can only just give your best performance, but you can choose to take an acting class. It's one of the few things that you actually have control over, and that is a chance to get in there and network with other actors. Number 3, you can get seen by industry professionals. When you take a training class, they are usually taught by casting directors, or actors who have been around the block a few times and know a little something. All of these people are really well connected in the entertainment industry. Especially if you can take classes from specific casting directors, you will get to meet them, they will get to see you perform, they'll get to associate your face with a performance, and they may even call you in or cast you in something that they're currently working on because you just happen to be there at that moment in time. Plus, taking a class from a casting director is going to give you valuable insight into their process of casting. What they're looking for, what they're not looking for, the things that bug them and the things that they like to see actors do. And that is very valuable information. So your connections to industry professionals is a very good reason to take some training outside of school. Number 4, you're gonna get out of your comfort zone. If you really truly want to be an actor, you have to embrace getting out of your comfort zone, feeling uncomfortable, pushing your boundaries and trying something new all the time. You're going to constantly be rejected, and you're going to constantly be going on auditions, and you're going to be playing role after role after role, and it's an ever-changing environment. Sometimes, though, as actors, we get kind of stuck in a rut. We get pigeonholed into a certain type of role, or we don't get a lot of work because we're struggling to get cast somewhere. And training and classes really help you get out of your comfort zone. They get you off the couch, they get you out there into the world in front of other people. You got to go on stage and you got to perform these exercises that are handed to you, and you got to sort of make them work. And getting out of your comfort zone is a very important and constant part of an actor's life. So the more you can do it, the more you can feel comfortable with it, and the less impact it's going to have on you as an actor. Number 5, new material. When you take an acting class, you get to try out new characters, new monologues, new scenes. Sometimes you're given these things, sometimes you discover them. You also get to watch other actors performing certain scenes and monologues that you may not have had any exposure to. I once took an acting class that was like a 6-week course. We met twice a week and we did monologues and scenes. And there were some actors that performed some monologues there that I was like, where did you get that? And when I saw these pieces, I knew that I had to write those down and go find them. You can discover some real gems, and sometimes an acting teacher can give you some perspective or some insight onto your type, onto what you might be good doing. They can give you a monologue or a scene or something that's really the right fit for you. And it's one of the only times in the world where you get that feedback from a teacher. You know, you go to auditions all the time and you never get any feedback. You never get, it's because of this or because of that. You're just sort of left out in the dust. And an acting class, you get that feedback from a teacher, and so you can discover material that is good for you, that is right for you, that somebody else sees you in, and that is very valuable. Those are the gems that you really want to collect. You know, you've watched this far in the video, maybe you want to consider liking the video. It really helps me out. Just pause the video and hit that little like button that looks like that. Like it. Like it. You know you want to do it. Like it. Like it. Thank you for liking my video. Number 6, learning new techniques. You know, when you do shows, you might have to learn how to play a different character or learn a new accent or something like that. But you don't necessarily get the time to learn new techniques, new ways of acting. Method acting, Stanislavski, Meisner technique. You'll learn those things in university and you'll get those techniques. Acting classes are a great way to rediscover those techniques and age-old pieces of wisdom that you might have learned in school but have not had a chance to apply in your everyday life. But I also think different people's perspectives can show you new techniques that they use that are successful in getting them work. For instance, we have a lovely casting director, Jody Rothfield, here in Seattle. She's one of the top casting directors in the area, and she teaches you techniques for auditioning on camera. These are techniques that I never learned in college because when I went to college, cameras weren't even invented yet. Now, I just didn't have a lot of exposure to film and television acting when I was in college, but taking this course from Jody Rothfield taught me all sorts of techniques for acting in front of the camera. How to pick up a piece of commercial copy, learn the first line and the last line, to think who you are, who you're talking to, why you're saying this, and finding those things very quickly and learning them and being able to give a successful acting audition. Those are the things you'll learn when you take an acting class. Number 7, resume building. When you don't have a lot of stuff on your resume, maybe you're just getting out of college, maybe you're just out of high school, maybe you've had no training whatsoever, you had no shows. Well, if you take classes and you put that on your resume, your training section of your resume, you are going to demonstrate that you are at least putting yourself out there, that you are spending time and money on bettering yourself as an actor, and that you are learning from the professionals how to be a better actor. And that goes a long way. A lot of people will look at your training and your skill set on a resume over what your credits are. especially if you don't have a lot of credits. And every time you take a class or a training, make sure you put it on the top of your training section of your resume and beef up that resume. Number 8, you can expand your scope into other related fields. What am I talking about here? Well, we as actors, we get a lot of actor training, but there's probably other skills that we can also develop. We as actors might have a handle on acting. You know, if you do it long enough, you kind of don't really feel like you need to go take an acting class. But there are many aspects of performing that you might not have any training on. For instance, singing a song, taking dance classes, take a class on 360 film, commercial acting techniques, working in virtual reality, how to do a green screen motion capture thing. There's all sorts of training out there, and all of it is important and all of it is very useful. If you think you know everything about acting, which I assure you, you do not, but if you think you know everything about acting, maybe take a singing lesson. Or go to a dance class. I guarantee you, you try those things and you're going to exercise all sorts of muscles and meet all sorts of new people and make all sorts of connections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All those other points are going to apply to those same training. But most importantly, it's going to train you in something new. It's going to train you in something useful. It's going to give you more bang for your buck. Training is always important no matter what the area of study is. Number 9, staying relevant. Let's face it, we actors, we go through dry spells. You know, I am so dry right now that I'm chafing. I'm so dry right now, I changed my name from Sarah to Sahara. I'm so dry they named parchment paper after me. Anyway, there's times when your career dries up, when you stale, when you putrefy, when you shrivel up into a useless, irrelevant piece of crap that everybody hates. But seriously, we all go through it. We all have rejection. We all have periods of dry spells where nothing's going on in our career. And acting classes are a great way to stay vibrant, to stay relevant, to stay included, a part of the acting community. So when you're having those dry spells, scrape together your last few pennies and drop them into the hands of somebody who is teaching a class and get out there. Put yourself out there. Make yourself relevant again. Discover some new things, new people, new techniques. Light a fire under yourself. Become strong. Become fearless. Become brave. It all comes from acting classes. Well, not all of it, but some of it. Just take a class. Use that period of dryness to wet your whistle, if you will. Okay? Number 10. Acting classes are fun. If you're an actor and you enjoy acting and you thrive off of the thrill of applause and camaraderie and you love the process from auditions to rehearsals to tech and all that stuff, you're gonna like acting classes too. It feeds that tingly adrenaline rush. It feeds that communal social atmosphere. It feeds that overcoming a challenge and showing that you can do it. They're just fun. I'm a board gamer, right? I go play board games for fun. Acting classes are feeding that same muscle in your brain. They're giving you that endorphin rush and that serotonin rush and that dopamine rush. And well, maybe not all of those things because that's sort of an upper and a downer mixed together. And I don't know if that would work. Anyway, they're fun. They wet your whistle. They get you involved with other people. And they're fun. Are you convinced? Right now, pause the video and scroll down all the way down to the bottom and leave me a comment. Tell me how you have benefited from taking an acting class in your life or something that you've learned in an acting class. I want to hear. You don't have to write a big paragraph or anything like that. Just tell me something. Comment down below. Well, I done run out of my fingers. Sorry, there's no more tips today, but hopefully you have learned that acting classes are your friend, that training and constantly learning new things and new ways to be vital and valuable as an actor are very important to your actor toolkit. Remember, like, share, subscribe, comment, do all those things and I'll be very happy with you. If not, I'll be very mad at you. And if you want to see more content similar to this, look at some of the links that are provided up above and to the side and down below and all around. And subscribe. Remember, subscribe. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.